I'm pretty sure that's what I've said to you multiple times. I'm like, just tell me what to do, right? And that's what you said, YouTube channel. But as I go through it, I think about, one of the things that you helped me recognize was being an educator, teacher. And because of that, I have the ability to show up on YouTube as that. This is an opportunity for me to show up as me and get people to know, like, and trust me and understand what's it going to be like to work with me. Mm-hmm. And from there, it's now people are going to gravitate to that, right?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Marketing with In-Depth Podcast, where I'm your host, Nathan Webster, and I'm excited to chop it up with you today for our take 2 with Crystal Height with Northwest Book Pros. Oh, how long was that episode, Crystal?
Oh, Nathan. How are you feeling right now?
Very disappointed. I feel deflated, but maybe that's because it's important to show people not to get caught up in your feelings.
Yes. So what do? We take a deep breath.
Oh,
let it out.
As Crystal is just watching me navigate.
What you guys don't know just happened is we did an hour and 15-minute podcast. To find out when we were finished, there was no podcast. There was just our check 1 2 at the beginning.
Oh, so disappointing. But working smarter, not harder.
But what did you learn?
Here's what I learned is to it's all in preparation. I need to do a better job at setting my stuff up.
What does that mean?
I need to not show up at the last minute like I did.
Guilty as charged.
But I should have showed up, make sure my stuff was good, all was fine. I also learned that when you're scaling and growing, that you're gonna have problems. So I need to continue to improve my equipment and my process and how I do this system. So this is
part of doing business.
It sure is. It sure is. So let's just roll with it, people. So
so are we going to cover the same topics? Are we going to cover a new topic? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I think we can cover all the same, just not in the same amount of time.
Yeah, because I got
you got to go. Yeah. I do too. Yeah. So what are a couple of highlights that you want to from what we talked about? If not, I can quickly go over them.
We talked about working smarter, not harder. What does that mean?
It's a myth. In regards, working harder as the priority when it should be working smarter. And working smarter is you focusing on yourself, doing the reflective work to figuring out what is going to be best for you and your lifestyle rather than being on the hamster wheel.
Listen, business is hard. I think we just have to be smart about which hard we're working on.
Yes.
So this idea of work smarter, not harder, what does that mean? People talk about, you hear that saying, but what does it actually mean? So to me, it's being strategic about what hard are we actually working on. Because we can get busy doing hard work, or we could be on the hamster wheel. I talked a little bit about being on a hamster wheel.
Yes.
And you can keep going, and burn yourself out and not be anywhere farther. But I was told to, just keep working hard, right? And then now we hear, okay, work smarter, not harder. Yeah, being on the hamster wheel and just keep going is harder. And I like the statement, be smart about the hard that you're doing. Business is hard. Just be smart at what hard you're going to focus on.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things. Was another topic we spoke on was transitions. Everyone is going through some major transitions due to the geopolitics, the economy, also technology. We're now there's not just starting with the pandemic of where I would have to tell clients, you need to show up digitally, and I get it. Brick and mortar was the thing of having the foot traffic there to capture as many people as you can, but the pandemic changed that. And so
what's the transition that you're going through? That's because we talked about a little bit about what transit you say to people going through transitions.
And to make it about me personally, the transition I'm personally going through is using so for context, my business has always done coaching, marketing, and websites. That's a smorgasbord of a lot. But what's very focusing, I'm turning my consulting into helping clients, as in business owners specifically, tell their marketing strategy through the channel instead of just websites. Websites are included, but through the channel of YouTube. So I first have to go through it to determine how I show up. And what I found is YouTube has helped me in so many ways become obviously I started out as the business, but down to me personally of how I listen, I show up, I engage, and I talk specifically to the people I want to work with.
Well, and I think this is how me starting a YouTube channel, you telling me you're going to start a YouTube channel. Okay, Nathan. But I understood the reason behind it, because if you look at where we are, we're living in a digital market. How do you get people to see you over everybody else? There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of noise. And what people are realizing, there's a lot of noise. So how do we connect with people? Well, we got to show up where people are showing up. But we have to show up as ourselves. And that's the difficult part is, when you mentioned earlier about how marketing is hard. Yeah. Marketing is hard because you don't, as a small business owner who in the beginning was like, marketing, I'm not putting dollars towards marketing. I ain't got time for that. I don't have the money for that. I'm going to DIY it, right?
Most people do.
And what was it? It was working harder because I'd have to go network. And during the day, I would go meet people and I would network and I would build it organically, which worked in the beginning.
Right.
And it got me, but then what was it doing? During the day, I was meeting people, networking, closing sales, and then in the evening, actually doing the work. That worked for only so long. Then I had to be more strategic about how am I going to reach the people that I want to work with. Also, who I was working with changed. And as your business changes and your business shifts and you go through these different seasons, what got me to 100,000, 200,000 isn't what's going to get me to 10 million, right? What gets me to 1 to 3 million is going to be different than what's going to take me from 3 to 10 million. It takes different work. And part of that I recognize is, okay, marketing, yes, I understand I need to invest in this because I need to be able to reach more people with less effort. How do I do that? Well, I don't know, and I don't want to figure it out. I mean, I do, but I don't, right? I want somebody, Nathan, to tell me what's the best way for me to do this, right?
And that's, and it's funny, I didn't get a chance to say it in the last episode, but I say in this episode, is it like, I'm tired of being a journalist. I want people to tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do.
And I'm pretty sure that's what I've said to you multiple times. I'm like, just tell me what to do, right? And that's what you said, YouTube channel. But as I go through it, I think about, one of the things that you helped me recognize was being an educator, teacher. And because of that, I have the ability to show up on YouTube as that. This is an opportunity for me to show up as me and get people to know, like, and trust me, and understand what's it going to be like to work with me. And from there, it's now people are going to gravitate to that, right? So if I have somebody who comes to me as a lead there are going to be people that I know I've met before I've even met them. They know a lot more about me than I do about them. And there's a reason why they might say yes now, because they can see me online. But with the YouTube stuff, what I love is when we was it year and a half ago, I told you, I'm like, I don't know what you do, Nathan, because I don't understand marketing.
Yeah.
But I think the key is...
And I did a horrible job promoting myself, too.
I think you were also figuring out how you wanted to show up, too.
Yeah, true.
That's where we talked about being people pleasers.
Yeah. And, I mean, that was another segment we talked about in the last episode of me trying to be all things to all people. And then people would come back to me and say, well, like, what do you do? And I used that as a tactic so I can, like, sit them down and we could evaluate. I'm not going to say we wasted a lot of time, but now I can say, this is what I do, and I know you need my services. If you don't want to work with me, goodbye.
Well, I think you've also gotten better at saying, okay, this is what I enjoy doing. This is what I'm really good at doing. This is where I see I'm having an impact on my clients. I need to lean into that. And it was the same thing in my business where, you know, I've done accounting work for years, and most people, when they think accounting, they think bookkeeping and taxes. But where we've made the biggest difference for clients is the strategic planning, the financial coaching, it's the more of the helping them in that aspect, like teaching them to be better business owners. When people ask me today, what do you do? It's like, I teach business owners to be better business owners. People who are interested and like, what does that mean, right? Then we could talk about it, but if they're not interested, then I'm not going to waste my time talking to them about it. It's the key. I teach people how to manage their money, be better at managing their money. How do I get people to understand what that means? Well, now I have a YouTube channel. They can go watch it and figure it out.
That part.
But I think this day and age, especially with COVID, we talked a little bit about that, where COVID, it shifted people going from thinking that everything had to happen in person to now we couldn't have things in person. So we shifted to this online, and in some ways, it was a huge game changer in shifting people's mindset around being able to go online. But there's a need for both. I think there's a need for both.
I agree.
I had a client where I had to go on site every single week. There was no reason for me to have to go on site every single week because I got less work done going on site than I did off site. And when COVID happened, we shifted to only online because that's all we could do. And all of a sudden, we're just humming through stuff. I say that to also say that there are times where it makes sense to have meetings in person. I met with a client yesterday working through their teaching them how to manage their cash flow, figure out where they're at. And the meeting started where I was just like, hey, how are things going? Instant tears. And she's all emotional and like, stop, just let it out. Just let it out. You and I have had our sessions too. Just let it out. You got to let it out. Right. And then for me, in professional world, corporate world, I am internally, I'm like, this person needs a hug. I just need to offer them a hug. And before I wouldn't offer that hug. And now I thought, she needs a hug. Do you want a hug? And she absolutely needed one. We gave a hug, and then we were able to talk through it. She let it out. She got it out. And then we could talk about what was really working, like what she was really not frustrated with, but what was getting her overwhelmed, and opened up that door, right? But if I was on Zoom with her in this meeting, there's no way I could give her a hug.
No.
And if she's breaking down in tears, that's what I want to do. And like you said on our missing podcast, I'm not a hugger. Anybody who knows me, I just not a hugger.
You start the meeting off with a hug.
But at the same time, I think this goes back to part of showing up as who I am, rather than this idea of what business is supposed to be. I think this goes to the whole idea of work-life balance, or integrating life with like personal life with business. To me, in the corporate setting, I would not have done that. But in this setting, I'm like, this is my business. I want to show up for this person. This is what this person needs right now. And even if it makes me uncomfortable, too bad. This is what this person needs right now. But again, that's where I say, you know, sometimes it does make sense to have those meetings. I think I like the hybrid approach.
I do. I think it's, again, showing up. Like, the YouTube has taught me so much of, I can't speak to everyone. I'm speaking to that one person. Like we said on the last episode, we start with wanting to just talk to everybody, but me talking to my consulting clients is going to be different than my coaching clients. And even though there's sometimes intersections, it's not the same. And then why would I talk to my website clients like I'm talking to my consulting clients? It won't work. The website clients, they want to know, how's my page upload speed? What does the hosting look like? What type of images should I?
Those are savvy clients, because I don't ask any of those questions. Is the website up? Is it working? Okay, we're good.
Right. I don't want. Is it right? I don't want to know anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that goes the whole idea of do it yourself. Why do we have this? To me, that is something that holds us back from growth in our business. As soon as I let go and say and acknowledge and get over this sense like I have to show up as the expert and I have to know everything. When I started this business, I thought I have to know everything. And I hired people that way. I didn't hire people that were smarter than me, even though my first client ever, I love him. He goes, Crystal, whatever you do when you start hiring employees, hire people smarter than you. And I, to that day, even when I hired people, I thought, okay, and this, I was afraid to hire people who knew more than I did, because I thought I needed to know everything and it had to be done my way. And I lost out on opportunities of being able to grow the business faster or grow it better because I was too scared to look dumb or not smart in front of my team, right? But eventually you get to a point in your business, you're like, you can't know everything. If you want to grow, you can't know everything, and we shouldn't have to know everything, but we can be smart about, like, no, we're going to know our business better than anybody else in regards to what the vision is, what the mission is, what our values are. We see things from the whole perspective, right? We know, we're watching on what direction we need to go, what shifts we need to make. And when you have team members, they're not always going to be on board. Some people they have to see it before they can believe in it. I had to grow. I'm growing as a leader of saying, okay, I know you don't get this, but this is the direction that we're going. I had to hire help, consultants to help me even build the self-confidence to be able to have those conversations. But before this whole work harder, I just need to work more and I'll figure it out.
I think I too, I had to hire people. And there was one person that says like, oh, you're in a small pond. You need to put yourself out there. And honestly, I was too scared to. But
why do you think you were too scared?
Because I didn't know how to show up as me. Like, unashamedly. I mean, I have no problem showing up, and if you give me a script, if you give me a SOP, I can murder that. That's not a problem. But excuse me, like you said before, I really wasn't quite sure what I was doing because I didn't know what I wanted to do because my vision was still not clear. Now my vision is so much more clear because I now know what I like. I don't know exactly all the things that I want because it's going to evolve and change. But I do know I don't want to work on the weekends if I don't have to. I know I want to travel. I know I don't want to check my bank account to go get a cup of coffee. I know I want to have a retirement for myself. I know I want to have a trust fund for my kids. When 3 years ago, I wasn't thinking like that. I'm still not going to pay for their college education, because I think your investment, especially into yourself, where my kids think like that's an entitlement. No, you have to earn it. And I know going to the Marine Corps, even though there's sometimes I'm like, man, I don't know if I would do that again. If I didn't put that investment in me, I would have never went to college because I would have never had the GI Bill.
The number one thing you can invest in is yourself.
So true. So true. And if you're not, to what you were saying about hiring coaches, you need to find someone to help you see your value. You can't give value, true value, and appreciate the value and celebrate the value if you don't see value in yourself.
So in certain aspects, we're not taught how to celebrate ourselves.
No.
And when I say celebrate ourselves, okay, if you win, you're in sports and you win the tournament, okay, great, you're celebrating the win, but what about the wins along the way to get to the point that you can win that, right?
And think about that, yeah.
I mean, think about famous sports players that they've achieved everything they can, and there's some of them have had this sense of like, now what? Okay, I did all of that, but now what? Because we have to go back and say, why are we doing this? How are we becoming a better person? What is this? What is the meaning behind why I'm doing this? I know why I am investing in becoming a better fractional CFO and becoming a better finance coach, because for me, that has I saw two parents growing up, one who made terrible money decisions and another parent who was like, I was sort of kind of doing that and said, wait a minute, this isn't working. I need to make better decisions, and had to go and grow and do the work, right? And I saw the consequences of your decisions, whether good or bad. And I lived with a parent, mostly with the one that made terrible decisions. And I think back at that time, I just was like, this person taught me terrible, like I was conditioned to think terribly about how you handle money. Well, that parent did the best that they could with the knowledge that they had at that time. They didn't believe in themselves. She didn't believe in herself. And that hurt me the most. Now I can see that as an adult, years later, how because she didn't believe in herself, you can have all the people in the world believe in you, but if you don't believe in yourself,
yeah, it's
the worst. So can it start with others believing in you? Absolutely. But we have to do the work, right? And part of that is acknowledging what is that value that we bring.
And I think it's harder if you're a people pleaser, like we talked about before, and you're looking for other people to tell you what that value is rather than you knowing what that value is. And then because at the same time you talk about not celebrating, but you're also not, you can't, when you celebrate, you're having a good time, but you can't have a good time while you're even, like, you should be having a good time doing it.
This idea of celebration, I think for most people is like, you go throw a party and you're right. And to me, there are times celebrating to me is in my mind to myself. Fuck yeah, you just did that.
Oh, yes.
Or you did that, right? And that at times is so much more than the going and throwing the parties. And like, that doesn't excite me. Are there times that is exciting? Yes. But, and yes, is it appropriate at times for that? Sure. But for us, when I say celebration, like sometimes that's all it is. It's acknowledging something that you did that was good.
Man, I think that's a great place to end it, because we already did an hour and some change, and thank you for coming back on. Second time, back to back.
My pleasure.
Even though you didn't see the first one. So
I'm sorry you missed out on it. It was great.
It was great. We'll do it again, because I think we do need to make sure that for those out there that are looking for videos, that it's not just about learning of, like, I think there's a lot of great videos out there that like to cover the X's and O's of entrepreneurship or technical skill, but they kind of leave out the personal side too as well. Like, we're not sharing you all the details of our specific lives, because that's not what it's about. But there's parts of our personal life that if we don't get better, our business doesn't get better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I we'll do it again. So if y'all haven't already, subscribe, like this show, comment, engage. We want to hear from you. Crystal's YouTube channel will be in the comments, in the description. So make sure you follow her as well and check her out. Because if you need help with some money decisions, she's the one to go to.
I can tell you what you don't want to hear, but I can also tell you probably what you want to hear too.
Yeah, she does make it a lot easier. Check out her channel. She's been working hard on it. I'm proud of her too.
The right hard.
Yeah.
Being smart about working on the right hard.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And with that, y'all, we wish you nothing but the best. So dream big and Godspeed. We're out.